They called her a monster. The headline screamed, "Wife shoots husband and mistress in cold blood." But behind every headline is a heartbeat, and in her final hours, Claire Dawson didn't ask for mercy or freedom. She asked for something no one expected. She just wanted to see her dog. What happened next would halt an execution, rewrite a case file, and remind an entire country what loyalty really means. Welcome to our channel, where true compassion reveals what justice often hides. Subscribe, because this story will stay with you long after the credits roll. The courtroom smelled of disinfectant and fear. "Claire Dawson," the judge intoned, "you are hereby sentenced to death by lethal injection for the murders of Ethan Dawson and Lisa Monroe." A gasp rippled through the spectators. Cameras clicked like mechanical heartbeats. Claire didn't flinch. 34, slight, pale, her wrists bruised by handcuffs. Her lawyer had stopped meeting her eyes weeks ago. Prosecutors had painted her as the jealous wife who found her husband with another woman and snapped. The gun was registered in her name. Her fingerprints were on the trigger. The neighbor had heard her screaming. But Father Mark Reynolds, the prison chaplain observing from the back row, saw something the cameras didn't: exhaustion, not rage. When the judge finished, Claire's voice broke the silence. "Your Honor, may I make one last request?" The judge sighed. "State it." "When the time comes," she whispered, "I'd like to see my dog. Just once." The courtroom froze. Even the reporters lowered their pens. The judge nodded stiffly. "We'll consider it." No one believed he would. Months turned to years inside Grayston Correctional. Cell 112, concrete and silence. Every morning, Claire fed crumbs to the pigeons outside her barred window. Every night she whispered, "Good night, Maximum." Max, her golden retriever, was the one creature who had loved her without condition. Before everything fell apart, she'd worked as a veterinary nurse. Ethan, her husband, had been a financial consultant who turned violent when clients and liquor mixed. Now, Grayston's guards knew her as the quiet one. Officer Perez, new on the block, sometimes lingered. "You really loved that dog, huh?" Claire smiled faintly. "He saved me more times than I can count." Warden James Miller overheard. "Perez, less chatter," he barked. "This is death row, not story hour." But even Miller, tough as concrete, found himself thinking about the woman in cell 112 who never cursed at anyone, never cried, never begged, only waited. Rain drummed against the prison roof the morning Miller opened her cell. "It's time, Dawson," he said. She rose quietly. The chaplain followed with a Bible pressed to his chest. "You're entitled to a final meal," Miller added. "I'm not hungry," she replied. Her voice was soft, steady. "All I want is to see Maximum." Father Reynolds met the warden's eyes. "Sir, she's not asking for clemency. Just peace." Miller hesitated. Rules were iron at Grayston, but so was guilt. After a long pause he exhaled. 1 hour. In the yard. She stays cuffed. He signed the authorization himself, something he'd never done. The prison yard was slick with rain when the shelter van arrived. A golden retriever stepped out, fur matted with grey. The moment he saw her, he whimpered, then lunged forward, leash slipping from the volunteer's hand. "Max." Claire fell to her knees as he barreled into her arms. The guards froze. No one spoke. The sound of his joyful whining filled the yard. "I'm here, boy. I'm here." Tears ran freely down her cheeks. Even Warden Miller turned away, pretending to study the fence. Minutes passed like heartbeats. Then time caught up. "All right," a guard muttered. "We need to go." But Max wouldn't move. He pressed against Claire's leg, growling when they tried to pull him back. "It's okay," she whispered. "You have to go." He whined, nudged her wrist, then turned abruptly, pulling toward Father Reynolds' satchel on the table nearby. The chaplain frowned. "What is it, boy?" Max pawed at the bag, claws scraping leather. A small stack of sealed envelopes tumbled out, letters Claire had written over the years to lawyers, officials, anyone who might listen. One envelope split open, revealing a USB drive taped inside. Warden Miller stiffened. What the hell is that? Father Reynolds blinked. She gave me her correspondence to mail years ago. I thought they were just letters. Claire's eyes widened. That drive, it's from our house. Ethan had cameras installed. Said it was for security. Miller snapped to a guard. Get IT to the control room. Now. In the security office, the footage flickered onto the screen, grainy, time-stamped the night of the murders. They watched Ethan pacing the living room, yelling. Lisa Monroe sat on the couch, trembling. You said she signed the papers, he barked. She refused, Lisa snapped. If she talks, the insurance company will investigate. Insurance. The words hit Father Reynolds like thunder. On screen, Claire entered the room, clutching Max's leash. Ethan, what's going on? Lisa turned, panicked. A gun glinted in her hand. She's ruining everything. Ethan grabbed for the weapon. A struggle, shouts, Max barking, then a single deafening gunshot. The camera shook, then showed both Ethan and Lisa collapsing. Claire fell to her knees beside them, screaming for help. The video froze. Silence. She didn't kill them, Perez whispered. It was an accident. Miller grabbed the phone. Governor's office. Priority override. Halt the execution. We have new exculpatory evidence. Down the hall, the execution chamber hummed. Claire lay strapped to the table, for ready, eyes closed. Any last words? The technician asked. She whispered, Tell Max I'm sorry I couldn't say goodbye. The door slammed open. Stop the procedure. Miller roared. Order from the governor. The syringe froze inches from her arm. Father Reynolds stumbled in behind him, breathless. Claire, you're free. The video cleared you. Max found it. For a heartbeat she didn't understand. Then the meaning sank in. Her chest heaved. He saved me. Reynolds nodded. He never stopped trying. Tears streamed down her face, the first in years. Weeks later, headlines filled every screen. Death row inmate exonerated after dog leads officials to hidden evidence. Claire was released to the sunlight of an Arizona afternoon. Miller retired and began advocating for criminal justice reform. Father Reynolds met her at the gate, holding Max's leash. When she knelt, Max bounded into her arms, tail beating the dust. You kept your promise, didn't you? She whispered. The chaplain smiled. Sometimes, God sends angels with 4 legs. They said she was guilty. They said the case was closed. But one loyal soul refused to stop searching. Sometimes it's not the evidence that saves us, it's love that refuses to stay silent. If this story moved you, subscribe and share. Someone out there still believes loyalty can save a life.